baby PM AKWATIA how me say believe in say said the no money that the brain because the new problem money agenda if you to me the almost money media abe influence system no na am abapu na to me ave so any ehwe ne ento aba no emfama wo mo enti no ye ne ma me from pen ko bi dey san komo ya that we be say the brilliant question here we be say once my work can say AKWATIA had ye beto aba e na haye hi na so ye to aba wi a waka se pani bia enim the pro we say mu na so had ye 50 minutes anti o mo di fie no abato aba bia so a na je say AKWATIA say dey market day aso madina amate bia ka so no and then say samafo yi no bia na mu bi and then ti sa na ti wa ha no say na so abato no ko na wi ya obedu kru mo ha no say any ye chen say wa ko kwanse party na content for na pon no mo yi yo mo nyema no na je say ya de ni mo no ayo the most of kind anything.
My Mr. We are kakra na no nine abo no numa bo no na abo apansima edunum NCC Electoral Commission baby obekan aba no e ho ban bone ade no monam na ya mode mani ehwe sa ho no e wa AKWATIA ene ne kru kese na nkasa na eno no so no ehun sam etisen
police center ho no e ho kwa na patututu be 5:30 e ko start ya probo fie
okay
police for na nkasa yo mo tent ni ade ho na said ye hote no nyame ni me say oni akonya se obewura ho na wo ye wa adwen se okopi nkuro bi abo na wo na ntenante ho no mo a I'm sorry me nim ye ebi a wo fi ho na wo pi a said oni padua na be sia ye o because wo nya ba bi kwa no to nurse wo na nte be 5 meters 10 meters police barrier wo na nte police wo jina ha police wo sin ha police wo tu na police be be fa bi police em say open su atop price auto police for nchen ne na se fo nyina enti no police center ho de study almost see a parking police no e ho no me nyini say amanfo betumi o yana so obi betumi akoye ade bi asadio e de o hawo bi betumi e de aba na mum e nipa ho adwuma nti yenhwe sade e besi akọ at the end of the day
ya kasa fiti anopa me say question we meto mu ye ba mi say ansa na be kwa awakọ peace council uto mo mfa ma ho
na me ne say omu bia patia mani enka obi so and also focus ni na na politicians no eso disabia so mu bia ba and e bia me ni hu na hu say me ara doso ana bro no e de nti na bia na me meko party A na obi so be party B but me family entwa obi so say mum say dem kan so bia be see achidia and on me to me enchre
Prince Akwa better say so for your money for Prince Akwa and I attending kan every wenchi ni na ene say ye pemko no na aba pansima edunson no numba na bato ni na bana wie na fe aka ne kenkan despite with the UTV and na wo hwe yegusua ene mpanifo kroma mo AKWATIA constituency ni mo sanso na manyofo akoho nsentrofo adwuma mo eye eno na ye bo akire abo amane e dia ma o man Ghana afa na nyina ne ehu de ekoso ewo AKWATIA police sahina nkasa IGP yi kasa ne kan yi akire mo ono ankasa ho bi odi dom no anim ono aye sahine a odi anim so behwe se ye beto bewie ye beto bewie eno akire nyina asomdwe beba ne nkoye na ano de ni bi no eno na ye bo ho amane edi mamo no na meka wo se we eye by election about 2024 ne to yen so se dem di kan ye no amamre ni mu no se koba ne saa na wo se koto aba ne fofo we kran so de ye to wie bosume be ye numachi na owura NSC akumi nyame eto nsa e de fe no yaya akoba se o se omoto so aba na ono na akonwa no ekura no ana oye MP ema amanfo wo AKWATIA ne mpatem eto aba no onyamu eye 18,289 eno ene ejina mo hanchichemu eduonu mienu ene achiripo enwotwe ena afi owura yadom enya eye 17,206 mpimudunson ahamienu ni ensia eno so gina mo hanchichemu eduana nson ni achiripo baako neno ena ene insakra aba ne se NSC akumi nyame atonsa afre no eno achi no so Henry yadom so entumi ama megina ho yenu aga ewo achimbuadua yenkwa ahoma so no so yene ne nkasa no abo apa osima edu enkronga a wotemi nka de bia ogina na mane ebo no etisen
okay ase abato no I can't go for 2 pay. We shut them now one and if about finish now or Quacotuabano. Them not 2 to Susa, and if about pay a day to Naha, a Quacotuabano. You see, Sakasakabian so anything, empty Mumbai. If you are the police force, she say, cars better baby was so mufa. The council better baby was so mufa. No attacks, there will be a lunch attacks, there will be a studio, Ewa has said.
Akadipa mienu ejan lai mu na je se enipa omudi worker atare mienu pe na aka mutu wi a na asana so mo ma ba no mienu na aka
se ane de omo kwakotso attack now de
okay
ba ko water na 1 and ba ko water na 2 line je mi say ye di line to be enko for 3 and 5 baby e 11 at each filling station
now the was when it to form was so to form bisa electoral commission for no enipa ahe na to aba e wo sa polling station mienu no na dodo se na ba beto afri dodo e wo so mo to aba ho no emu
well so far ni de terminal 1 ni de almost ka ko 300 me ka 300 and na terminal 2 but so far no let's say in comparison that RCT abang that to say now more expect no because to share almost total figures now more expect now almost expect around 600 but we comparison that NPP among the 2 abano because of say do say a police money no almost a bomb to be as a Sakakabi and answer way no almost said the abang the 2 abanesa
na bra no so bia no bi hwe UTV wona mu won se police ni bia obi aya kayaka de no ntie abobi hu
oh dabi obia enye bisa IGP crowd the kata e say e man ko fully to the police ko no wa ha kon be bomb ko fan nti no e mo mu show so mu be pie aba be to aba no omo wa ha say e bia obi pese o say bia na say o ha adwen a omo ne nipa de begi and then some of my na enye some about the book man for this no class room some of brand on but so far the police media and your bia ya bia e wo kodua ha
ba yen hwe ne sei akakra na no num no abo apart from omo to na akakra bi ne be hwe adefo so ase ba
mpacho man so kasali
na me se wo so mo gina le mo ba beto abande aka ba mienu bi pe na nipa ba beto no asa this bi obi foforo ba emi bi sa ne se omo so mato dada omo ba kira ba be se ye meto ye ne course no wo se nipa bi asase epu ba ho
oh people snake around the omo chain but obia and attempt say or JBB and answer way baby obia nya potre wa hanumo and I just come to her pizza her credit and I at the top for no but obia nya na just do JBB or attack obia na say baby
na at the top for now and e hwe wonam ya at the top ko say o mo to nuane nsuo ni ade ene na weather ne te say wa kwatia eno e ko say
oh e go to mo to ade pan kan so for no amo ka san pa omuto ade say ya na nkofo abebu anapa no na omuto aba omuto ade pa eduane fo no so sa nkofo ba bebi ye nipa na oba beto aba no ni say ha ne lorry station ni eduane fo so wa ha so ba oto le bo na akope bibi ansa na aba beto na aba no ade tonko ye ma wo
na say ya na wie mu ayekusu ene na kwatia weather ne te say
inti na pa no na say it's 2% so it's na piti kakra na eja but after that you be ni say everything in India you need to be a cry by na ya cry wa ha ya say en ya na no ya tin say na go funda benye ai sana weda ne ye e wa ha no say
ye beda se ebresim no ye beba na ya ba betwe nkomo mo kenkan na ya hwe abakiri ye nua ga na ye ne etwetwe nkomo akwatia ni nyina eye abatwa ekoso ewo ho ebre ne de se me bo akire ni sanse epia kọ ehi enche na nonum abo na de ewo mu bia no apie na obo ade adaroma de ehu nkakra de akọ na wieye na Ghana tenase wasomdwe mu ye nkote asembo ne bia no nan abo apon sima no aduonu n9 424 igusua ewo akwatia abato ensemu yebo akiri ediama emranim ni a ogina Bernard Bedu ema NDC amanyuku no ena afi de otufom agudie owura Asemodu ono so ejama NPP mpenifo mienu ena epre sɛ mmarahyɛbadwa akonnwa atɔmpan ɛwɔ mmarahyɛbadwa mu no ɔmu baako ɛbɛkɔ akɔgyina Ebenezer ayɛ egyina ahoma no so Ebenezer
Yo
hifa pɔte pa na wogyina
yo medaso wo bemenase ho na prepare me na wo kan ide nipa na betu bia fine 474 out 474 na ese what aba wa prepare me na wo kan 342 na aba betu enti ma hu se nipa no afiase pin benga wonga be gina inchenchen a wore twanse no numu ne bebo na afi electoral commission afiase se obekenkan iyo ntime na wo kan akwatia se na yenum se da bia dede wa ha ne nede yenti biribia sa ba bia me wei de obia police fokora atete ho aha ye boko asem bia ni o ha bia ni ha
na o kasi da bia dede ba dede bia ni wo do waso to forma
akwatia de se obia no se bedu abato so akwatia din wo soro pa so nede akwatia te wasore enti asubidwe wa ha ye yo
aye
yes
akwatia fu wo suba no wasesa na police fu huhu na ama won aye din
se won asesa wo suba enti ama police fu ani yawu menka ne sa enti police fu ne ba won anhye da nya adwuma bi anye to na asesa wo suba ama police fu ani yawu enti police fu na ngasa ati wo sere wo enti enti won anya adwuma bi anye biade aso ju nko ya abo ni bi ani enti meka si mefa so abo police fu no so aba so won aye adwuma pa wonga ye adwuma wonga gina wona nso ahwe se obi odi afiri bi twam de wo hwehwe mu yi pa hwe se obi amfa biribi entum nkopiro bi yiu wo hwe na se wani munye won fa no nga to mu ase adu so wiye anta no nga jaawo
yan hwe wei suban bi wa abato hom se na mu bo report mu nkan ye double voting ene ne din ni mo peso kwoto aba ho na mu na mu ebi apiem
mpacho debi baby a me mafade me hu biribia sa na me nti biribia sa na dobo nimpo de so nga nchiro nipa na eto debi a na akenkan no mu no na edadi nti wo pon na se wore kenkan na ye behwe si biribi sa ba na hu no nga ehu ana se bi amba kora yo
okay ayebedas gidi se ebre no pia na epia ko enti busuafo a mohwe YouTube despite media akwatia ama ne bo na ye bo different central for amugina hopotin no na omutwa mfoni ne dia akoso amanyuko mpanifo titiri NDC ne NPP omakogu ho a police for mpanifo nipa wa akwatia adwedifo ne ade na ye bo akiri ensamade mamo no na sabre ye bra ye dane ho kakra no no abo apa ho sima no adunu enson 427
witnessed that? I'm asking you, have you witnessed that situation? Have you experienced? Oh, listen to me.
No, like I told you, Chairman, I spoke to some people here.
I spoke to some people, and they said that they're waiting for money. And I'm telling you, that is not the situation over here. That is not the situation.
Try this 8-minute AI study habit after work. Get ahead of your colleagues and boss. Let's be real. Most people over 40 use ChatGPT.
Yes. To ask me a question, but I don't have authority to ask you anything. Yes, and I'm asking you a question. Have you seen somebody collecting money before voting? Yes, and I'm telling you that is not the situation. Yes, but you were forcing me to give you whatever that you are thinking in your mind. You expect me to say what you are thinking in your mind. But this is my view. That's what I'm experiencing. So that is not the case. Right.
All right, thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman of the NPP in AKWATIA, flanked by his supporters, disputing the claims that in this election some persons are paying these people to vote, some police officers, and some of these young people are asking for money to cast their votes. This is the Wenchi community, one of the 21 electoral areas of the AKWATIA constituency, into the space provided by the police. Wenchi is where both NPP stronghold and the Member of Parliament sorting and for AKWAPIM North, which is also an NPP. Few of them hold. Just came in to observe the process. We spoke to him. He was with the voted yet candidates for the NPP in this election. Is now being convinced to go and vote. Solomon Kwame Asumadu. So you see some police officers taking a rest just before the sorting and counting process begins. Like I said, so that what you're seeing is the Wenchi Presby Church polling station that will be moved into the space provided by the police, where both polling stations here said sorting and few of the voted yet. One person is now being convinced to go and vote. Yeah, to Uncle Tuaba. Mami, net saying. What to Abba? Oh, okay. Now, but what to and one coffee and son was on back.
Oh, my cotton affair is here and a member.
Over here, Medasi. Now, so, Mamma, what to do that?
Mepacha, ya read that.
What to do that?
Mepacha.
One cassa of you, Pemuna, or to Abana, and I said, Ubi Bafi and I encourage you, say, Konako.
Oh, Mepacha, there be Mianca Sadia made a mipim, and I'm a toy. Actually, say, Mepasa, me your mind, Papa. anything I'm the to my ba. Me ma obi me shame say me kwato abansa. Me ami pem and I'm the to my ba.
I say a few more of them hanging around as we prepare for the close of polls, which should happen pretty shortly, and then we would all converge and begin the counting process. Hi, everyone.
Me de Majua. I try.
When she hire now free.
But try.
What's not having fears?
Oh, my time Phoebe Billy. I had a woman, it's no. And I'm free.
What to Abasa?
At to Abasa.
Wait, and your
David.
What to do that?
If I try, I told that.
For the past few weeks now, candidates may know campaign, you know. Then I would not suntia or the Kotuaba.
Oh, me the NPP, I be ewo kuri mama ye.
NPP.
But try me NPP. It's in a banner there. The Amayo kuri muni and na my dinner so I too a banner.
Okay, Majua. And I'm Pajon Severosin.
Me de Sewa.
Sewa, what to Obama, me Jonsa.
Mato, we the dada.
This is a more chance you be kind.
Declare near Honey Power winning. Yatanichi.
It's regardless, the Obe Winnie be a mobile talent.
Oh, me to me, the Obia metanich, but me, I'm named them to my man. But Obia winning me okay. But me to me to both into my you one pen my vote, man. To Obia winning me okay.
Now, I'm in house there.
If I told them, kind, sir, Jenny, you'll be able to be a obedient couldn't be a tanachi. And she said, no one here train your bonfire is a radina be because a radin is seeing it. It's a very rad, it's on one obey him. Your bell boy crew, crebe tumpon. I don't know, I hear.
A Juma police for a year, Nansan, Odian was.
I saw any papa. I saw any palma bomb homody. Amanya sanka me mu an be basa nti ye ni so de amaye ye bo ma baso amayade ye ni aso
so essentially all the people I've spoken to asked them about if they voted. Well, they have. They are hanging around for the sorting and counting process. I just asked the last interviewee about the work the police have done here. She says it's been quite impressive. You also heard the MP for AKWATIA North commending the police. However, the counting and collation process historically has been the areas of the election process where violence occurs, and so they expect the police to up their game and intensify the operations when that time comes. Well, the IGP himself, he's assured us that there are standby teams and other measures have been put in place just in case during the collation processes there are any eventualities. The police will be able to deal with them. We've also been told that there's a standby military team just in case the police are overawed and they need some assistance. They will call them in. Today there's been about four pickups of military men. They've just been roaming the town of Wenchi. You see them here, you see them there, you see them there. They don't step out of the vehicle. They just keep roaming the town. The chairman is engaging some of the community members, what you see over there. I mentioned that some roadworks have been ongoing. Well, yeah, we're actually standing right on one of those roadworks. According to the people, it just began recently, right up in town, all over the town of Winti. You'll find construction equipment working quite vigorously to work on the inner roads within the Wenchi township. The voting process has been
yes, Prof.
Largely peaceful. Except this area, Wenchi has been largely peaceful. There are 11 polling stations in Wenchi. So the other 9, they've done pretty well. We've not recorded any incidents in those areas. But for what happened earlier in the day here, I would say that the process has been quite peaceful. Yesterday, in my engagements with some of these young men, they tell me that they're looking for development for their community.
Of the heavily police and then the security men. This an unfortunate incident happened in the presence of police, and I am going to send a caution to Azoka. Azoka, he is not above the law. Azoka made a very, very, very devastated comment. He said it clear that today he make sure that I have been killed here, myself and Afonyo Makin, the minority leader. That he will make sure that there will be another by-election at Winneba. No matter what, by the end of this election.
By AKWATIA is benefiting a political class.
Yes, but what does it benefit the political class if in winning power and one seat, okay, there's a diversion of, security risk that makes that the act of the Ghanaian rate. You don't say. Okay, what is the politics? If politics is not driven by values and norms, I mean, whether to count the next of the risk we have placed and said, look, the two political parties must pay because they agree and so we, because this is not part of the budget. When it was paid, either sometime or later. Okay, it's because political parties go spot when they started security. And there's, it's the bill. The IT has to pay for this from his budget. That budget he needs to do other kind of things that would be beneficial to the general citizens of the country. So they would handle AKWATIA and made rational choice against other citizens whose lives are in danger. Raises those tactical and ethical questions that we need to discuss from tomorrow onwards. But I don't think this is the way that things must be done. To what extent can law enforcement make this heavy investment at every by-election where that constituency is perceived to be a hotspot?
But,
okay.
but Prof, on the other side, right, okay.
No, please go on.
Yeah, so my final question, so I can let you go, is on the other side, doesn't this also demonstrate that the police administration, if they really want to work, they will achieve results? in view of what has happened in AKWATIA so far?
But what it means is that this result will be achieved if there are no other pressing needs. Is AKWATIA a bigger and a more dangerous threat to the stability and peace of Ghana than cases where 40 people have lost their lives? Is AKWATIA a more dangerous state than what we have seen in Seoul? Or losing their lives? And that's what the answer of the point says, because they have the political. But practically, I mean, this is an oversaturation of law enforcement in one tiny corner of Ghana. Okay? Were we to be in another by-election in a considerably larger constituency, okay, how many men are we going to place there? 10,000?
All right.
And probably there are other outbreaks of conflict elsewhere. You know, so much as we have had a fairly successful run until now, it is the people of AKWATIA, and not because they were afraid. They themselves decided that we will not continue to be a poster boy or a poster constituency for violence.
Right.
You will notice that most of the talk around violence did not come from the citizenry.
No.
It came from the leaders of the different political parties who were threatening each other. I've actually asked one of your colleagues to disaggregate the types of words and language used so that when we speak tomorrow morning, we can compare the levels of incitement and the threat that came from political parties and their leaders.
Okay.
And that is what I've seen. That is not how politics must be done.
All right, Prof.
Principles and values.
Prof. Thank you very much. And of course, we'll have that discussion after this parliamentary by-election. We're going to take a very short break. And then with just I'm looking at the time, and it's 14 minutes for to close the polls. Some are rushing to cast their vote. The police is gearing up as they wear their protective gear ahead of sorting, counting, and declaration. When I return from this very short break, we will take you live to AKWATIA for the very latest ahead of the closing of polls. Stay put. This is your election headquarters.
Of the heavily police and then the security men. This an unfortunate incident happened in the presence of police, and I am going to send a caution to Azoka. Azoka, he is not above the law. Azoka made a very, very, very devastated comment. He said it clear that today he make sure that I have been killed here, myself and Afoyo Makin, the minority leader. That he will make sure that there will be another by-election at Winneba. No matter what, by the end of this election, myself and Afoyo Maki has to be killed.
Not to justify his action, I mean, it is condemnable in all terms. But what did you say in that interview that may have provoked the action?
I never even uttered a word against him. You know, when he approached me, I was thinking like we are all political party, we are all nodding. It was a joke. When you heard me speaking Dagbani, I was saying that, oh, Azoka, you are my brother. So stop what you are doing. I was thinking that maybe it was a joke. I'm telling you, if I knew that.
We went there and it's 592 and over 400 have voted and they are still voting. We went to the other side, it's 612. 380 something have already voted. So basically, it's been good here.
I was in Top Remind, if
yes.
That's the name.
Yes.
The Presby Church,
yes.
Over 536.
Yes.
Only about 200 have done.
That is their stronghold.
Who's stronghold?
The NPP. So the lower the turnout there is better for us.
So it's advantage for the
It's
NDC.
advantage for us. If they cannot whip their people to come and vote, we are whipping our people to come and vote. And we are doing that professionally. So we are going to house. Our people are going house to house, room to room, trying to pull people. You can see old men. We pick them in Prajia and in whatever, bringing them to vote. So it is the responsibility of the political parties to do what we call the GOT, get out the GOTV, get out the votes. So if they are not doing it, I am happy with what I'm seeing in our strongholds. I've been into their strongholds, I've been into our strongholds, and I'm happy what is happening in our strongholds. Generally, it has been the characteristics of every by-election that the turnout is lower. And so this will not be an exception, you understand? But whatever it is, I think that our turnout has not been bad. It's fine, it's good.
But finally, before I let you go, there's an argument by the second Deputy Speaker of Parliament that we should scrap by-elections. His argument is one, resources, waste of resources, it brings tension, deployment of security, everything. So we should just find a way of dealing with by-elections instead of organizing by-elections anytime there's an issue in the constituency.
This thing has come up severally, but I also have a different opinion. Because the by-election one serves as a barometer to judge the sitting government. Do you understand? Two, it also gives the people the opportunity to say we don't like what this thing is happening. And then also, who tells you that if there's going to be an internal party? There have been internal primaries that has been even worse. So definitely, the party will not just go and say this man should go. There will be a what? There will be internal.
A by-election has always been, if there's a word like that, worse.
Yes, but the primaries, once the person know that going to primaries is the ultimate, then it will be worse. Then people will be more aggressive, more resources will put in. Didn't you hear of the government that people came and line up taxis, cars that when you win, take it? Do you know the amount of money that goes into it? I agree that it may not be to the scale of the whole constituency, but I think that the by-election is something that we should consider properly. Do you understand? If we have a better way of handling it, fine. But for now, I think that this is the best for us for now.
Is NDC winning the seats?
I'm sure. Very sure.
How sure?
Very, very sure.
The NPP says it's theirs.
Very, very sure. Based on what we have done, based on the work we have done, we are sure.
What work have you done?
There's no nick and cranny of this constituency that we have not been. So that should tell you we are winning. Thank you very much.
Baba Jamal, former member of parliament for this constituency, AKWATIA constituency, former deputy minister of information, and a former deputy general secretary of the NDC, speaking to us there, his observation about the whole process in this by-election in the AKWATIA constituency, and observing proceedings so far. Umaru, let me give you a general picture of the situation here.
Sami, before you do, yes. If you could just turn 360, the APC candidate who was disqualified is behind you. I don't know if you can grab him. APP, the one in the light.
Umaru, come again.
The gentleman in the light blue polo shirt is a APP candidate who was disqualified. He's behind you. I don't know if you can grab him for a comment before he leaves. The fair gentleman behind you, he's wearing a light blue.
Okay, hi. You are the disqualified candidate, right? Yeah. Sure, Umaru, he's a gentleman. I'll engage him. You were disqualified in this whole process.
Sure.
Why were you disqualified?
Actually, we saw that the work of the AEC was not what they were supposed to do. We actually see that there was some foul play somewhere. So currently, as we are speaking, we are in court seeking for justice.
You sought an injunction,
yes,
to put this to halt this election, but election is going on.
Sure. In a way, we are satisfied. Even for the court to give us hearing, we are very satisfied. And the judge make it emphatically clear that we have a case, so we should proceed to the Supreme Court or the Appeals Court for justice to prevail. So currently, as I'm speaking to you, our case is at the Appeal Court, and we are seeking justice.
And so, even if there's a ruling election, you think Electoral Commission will be compared to rerun?
Considering what the judge said, and actually we are also for it, because Action People's Party, we embody peace, we embody transformation, we embody development, and as it stands, the judge make a ruling, and the ruling was that considering the state resources being used so far, considering what the other parties has put in terms of time, in terms of resources, it will not be in favor of us when we are to adjourn or when we are to put injunction on the election. So we also thought it wise that it is in the state, it's in the interest of the state, and so with that we will agree to the judge. The judge even assured us that we should proceed to have justice, and as I've emphatically stated, we are the Supreme Court seeking for justice.
You are not on the ballots, but then how do you observe the process today?
Oh, you know, every by-elections, there's some form of tension, but as I'm speaking to you now, there's calmness, and you can even witness it yourself, that everything is going on smoothly. The good and loving people of AKWATIA love peace. The good and loving people of AKWATIA want development. And places where they are chaotic, you can't get this development. So I can say that the good and loving people of AKWATIA are doing so good by voting and making sure that the environment is so calm. So that's what I can say about that.
Thank you very much for your time.
You are welcome.
That was the disqualified parliamentary candidate for the Action People's Party. He wanted to contest in this in this by-election, but then he was disqualified. He was disqualified by the Electoral Commission for not meeting quite a number of criteria set out by the Electoral Commission. He was unhappy, took the matter to court. His lawyer, Kofi Frimpong Anoche, represented him in court, and as you just heard him mention, they are seeking a redress at the Appeals Court, and if it doesn't work out well, they may go to the Supreme Court to go and seek justice as far as this matter is concerned. They believe that they've not been treated fairly by the Electoral Commission. The more reason why they were disqualified. That's why they are going to the Appeals Court or even the Supreme Court to go and challenge the decision of the Electoral Commission, included on today's ballot as far as the by-election in AKWATIA constituency is concerned. So now, that is a situation here as we speak. And before the interview, gentleman, I was telling you about earlier when we spoke, the place looked but as we now, of people have entered the lorry station. Some few minutes to 5 o'clock, so the situation. Security has also been beefed up. The police have mounted a barricade with a clear instruction that no individual goes beyond the specific barricade that they have mounted here. Only accredited media houses will be given the opportunity to have even access to where the counting, the sorting, and the counting and the declaration will take place. And so they will strictly go according to the directive given to them by their commanders. And you could see already that armed police officers are, providing security within the periphery of the voting center, especially where the sorting and the counting and the declaration will take place here at the Bodia Lorry Station, one polling station, where in some few minutes voting won't end. Electoral Commission officials will begin the sorting, counting will begin, and then declaration will take place tomorrow. Quite a number of party supporters have also showed up to observe the process and perhaps cheer on their candidates as to who will win, whether it's the NPP's Solomon Kwame Esumedu or the NDC's Bernard Bediako, whoever will win, the supporters of both political parties are here to cheer their candidates on and to more or less observe a finching thing, as we say it, a finching process as far as the sorting, the counting and the declaration is concerned, Omaro.
That is Sami Wiafe, and it's exactly 1700 GMT or 5 p.m. Voting should officially end, except for people who are already in a queue waiting to cast their ballot. No new person will be admitted to vote in AKWATIA. They have been voting since 7 a.m. in 117 plus, is it 117 or 119 polling stations? And the voting officially comes to a close now, and the police have been moving in place readiness for that particular sorting. So they first sort the ballots and decide who has what, and they heap them together, and then they start the counting, and they declare at the polling stations. Each of the polling stations will declare their results. The ballot boxes and the ballot material and every election-related material will then be carried to the collation center, where the collation will be done, which is simply a tabulation of votes from all the polling stations. Now, we saw an interesting spectacle in Wenchi, where as 5 p.m. Drew closer, lots of the community members started moving and thronging the polling station, going to observe the process. We also saw that there are some vehicles on the football park, a bit about some 200 meters or so from the voting center. We were told that these vehicles contain some persons who are supposed to be heavily built persons. They did not step out of the car to do anything whatsoever. The police had their Black Maria on site, the Black Maria being the mobile prison that they went to town with. It will be interesting to ask the police if their prison on wheels managed to get anybody detained in there, because it looked hollow when I saw it in the pictures. It appears that nobody has been arrested because nobody has caused any chaos that would necessitate them being arrested. But it is important to say that this has been a very beautiful piece of democratic work that we have seen today in AKWATIA. 51,000 people who are registered in the constituency. Would want to see how many people showed up to vote in the Bodria area, which is the stronghold of the NDC. We saw Baba Jamal speaking there to Sami Wiafe. They are confident of victory. They said they have gone to do something that is very popular with American elections, get out the vote, or GOTV, where you go out and get the people to come out to vote. He said they brought out even old people who are not able to move using tricycles and all of that. Mind you, there are over 30 people in AKWATIA constituency who are over 100 years old. So I don't know if these are the people that Baba Jamal talks about, but they are confident that they will get the votes out and they would have the votes at the end of the day. The NPP has said through its former organizer at the youth level and at the national level, Samia Oku, who is currently member of parliament, that the NDC intends to undertake a certain operation, but they are being restrained, so they are unable to carry out that operation. And the use of the term operation simply means they want to distract or cause some disruption of the election, according to Sami Oku, but they have not had the chance and the opportunity. A short while ago, I saw the NPP National Youth Organizer go on Facebook and write #firewall, which is an apparent reference to what they are doing in their stronghold of Wenchi. But a lot of things are interesting. Musa Dankwa, a pollster who has appeared on our station a number of times, has also gone on social media to put a poll that he has conducted. Exit polls are done on election days, where by the time elections are over, we have a picture or an idea of who is leading where. So Musa Dankwa has put up something interesting, and he calls it exit poll, and it has to do with direction of the country. So the people who think that the country is in the right direction, 47% of them. 48% think that the country is moving in a wrong direction. And the people who have no opinion, that will be 5%. So in AKWATIA right now, the exit poll conducted by Musa Dankwa and published 29 minutes ago, Global Info Analytics, suggests that 47 people of AKWATIA, 47% of the people interviewed in AKWATIA say that the country is moving in the wrong direction, while 48% think that the country is moving in the wrong direction. In terms of, so there's a poll on ethnic groups, how they are voting. Then we have religious groups, how they are voting, the exit polls coming through. Then the age groups, AKWATIA exit polls he has done something on that. Then party affiliation, key issues for voters, what are the things that would determine how people would be voting. So these are some of the things that he has put up. As of 8:21 a.m., Musa Dankwa said that they had interviewed 289 voters by Global Info Analytics, and that they have a team on the ground and they are doing exit polling for the people of AKWATIA so far. Fred, I don't know if you have also noticed anything else that you want to share with us.
Yes, I think the most important thing in this exit polls are the affiliation of party members who have turned out to come and vote. So when you look at his exit polls, it says that 51% of the voters they spoke to who turned out to come and vote are NPP members. 44% of them are NDC. 3% are floating voters. 2% are other parties, and 1% did not disclose. So when you look at this exit polls by party members, it tells you that the NDC, the NPP, has the majority of people who turned out to vote, and followed by the NDC's 44%. We are not sure what this means, because if we want to go purely by our understanding of 51%, it could be possibly that 51% of NPP people turned out who could vote for NPP, unless there is a change of mind when they get there and vote for somebody else. 44% of the people on a normal day who turned out today may vote for the NDC, unless they also decide that they're doing something else.
Thank you so much. That's Fred Tete Jabano. He has been with me since midday when we came on set here to bring you coverage of the AKWATIA by-election. Polling or voting officially ended now. The next thing is the sorting, which would be happening, and then the counting, which would be happening. Vivian Kailoko is going to come and take over next to continue through the process of the sorting, the counting, and then the final declaration, all here on Channel 1 Television and also on 97.3 CTFM. So I'm going to take leave of you now. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu, but I'm leaving you with some of the key interviews we had today with some of the political actors who converged on AKWATIA. And we solicited their views through our reporters on the ground, Sami Wiafe, Charles Osukumi, Neonia Amate Kanaku, and Fauzu Masawodo. Stay with us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kuda. Assessment of the process so far?
Well, it's too early to make any concrete assessment. The process started just over an hour ago, and we are up to 5 p.m. for the close of polls. So let's observe what is happening, and then maybe in the afternoon we can make a proper assessment.
Yesterday there was a planned, engagement with the Peace Council, but the New Patriotic Party boycotted it you cited reasons for the NDC's representation during that engagement. Shouldn't that be a cause to worry?
Why should it be a cause to worry? You should ask yourself, why should it be a cause to worry? The Peace Council sent a letter to General Secretary, invites NPP to come. We send our national organizer, our national youth organizer, our head of Security and Intelligence Committee, Honorable Henry Cote, only to attend that meeting and see constituency deputy youth organizer, constituency deputy organizer. This is not an insult even to the Peace Council. And you are making the statement we boycotted it. Were you expecting us to stay there? Were you expecting us to stay there?
Well, I would say that's why we're seeing, for instance, what we're seeing this morning, just a few minutes ago, some, skirmishes there at one of the polling centers.
What kind of skirmishes? Nothing happened. It's part of the elections. So
they were complaining that you are taking down some posters and all of that.
But is it proper for a poster to be at the polling center? Is it proper? Answer me, is it proper? So if something is wrong, it is wrong.
It is wrong. Mr. Kuda, what could be a fulfilling outcome for the New Patriotic Party at the end of
Well, at the end of the day, at 5 p.m., when collation is done, you will see the results.
Will the NPP accept the outcome of this election, this by-election, regardless?
Why? What would be the reason for us to accept, and what would be the reason for us not to accept? See, you can answer.
But what message do you have for the people of AKWATIA? Peace is all we want. Is there a message?
Well, certainly we all want peace. We all want peace. No one wants violence, but we will not be intimidated.
Have you spoken to the leadership of the NDC already? Because you felt insulted or slighted by.
Why we were not the one who called for the meeting. It was Peace Council. If Peace Council has any reservation or any issues, they should call the NDC. If it was our meeting, then the question you're asking would have come in. But it was the Peace Council that called for the
There's
meeting.
such a high deployment of security personnel. Some say, well, it's an intimidatory tactic. Some are complaining about.
For us, we are okay. Right. We don't have any issues with it. Our supporters, our voters, who wants to go and vote, will vote. And as we are here, have you seen any police personnel intimidating any voter? No. So if you don't have any hidden agenda, why should we be worried about the police presence? Or let the police are here to help in the NDC rigging machinery. If they are not here to do that, then we shouldn't have any issues with police personnel being here. Thank you.
Make any effective comment on it, you need to get the details. Unfortunately, I don't have the details.
So, Alaji, like I indicated, we still have about 4 hours more to go. What do you anticipate will happen after close of poll?
I think I've already said what I expect at the end of polls. That NDC will win the seat. And the basis is very simple. I am sure the people of AKWATIA are looking for development projects. They are looking for jobs for their people. Even though we are all Ghanaians and that we are all entitled to development in the nation. But you know that because of the nature of the politics we do in Ghana, if you have the president belonging to NDC and you have the opportunity to elect somebody to parliament, naturally you would want to elect somebody who would align with the president and his vision. And in this case, it is the NDC candidate. And therefore, my view is that the people of AKWATIA will vote for somebody who will align with the sitting president.
But Alaji, when you say so, are you not twisting the arm of the people behind their backs?
No, I'm not. Making a statement doesn't amount to twisting. I am just expressing my view.
Vote for your candidate because you are in power.
We are in power. That's the truth of the matter. Unless we want to twist the truth. Yeah, the truth is that we are in power. And therefore we should, yes, it matters. It matters. We are in majority in parliament. And let me just give a simple analysis. For example, if government budgets to construct about 100 6 classroom blocks across the length and breadth of the country, and every MP goes to lobby. You know, we have about 275 MPs, and so everybody goes in there to lobby for one of the projects. Naturally, the NDC candidate or the NDC MP has an advantage over the MPP candidate. It's simple. It's simple, Chief. If we can satisfy everybody and there wouldn't be any competition, fine. Then we go normal. Yeah, but we don't have that situation.
The NPP also says that if you think there's no competition, you have enough in parliament. Why are you so interested in AKWATIA?
We want to help build AKWATIA. We want to bring development to AKWATIA. If you talk to anybody in AKWATIA, he will tell you the roads were done by NDC. Water. When I was Minister for Water, Resource, Works and Housing, I brought the water system to AKWATIA. AKWATIA, Achimda, and Winneba. Their water system was provided when NDC was in power and when I had the privilege to be Minister for Works and Housing in this country. And the NPP hasn't done anything for the people of AKWATIA. So the expectation is that with NDC in power, they are going to have development. And therefore, it is better for them to have an NDC MP.
Alaji, you mentioned Winneba. The minority leader was here earlier. He says that they are mourning democracy following the removal of the Chief Justice. Does that mean that the government of the NDC did wrong
with regards to the removal of the Chief Justice?
It is the minority leader who is a confused politician.
Oh, how are you?
He's confused because we went through the processes outlined in the Constitution. For the removal of the Chief Justice, the Constitution clearly defines the processes that one has to go through to get the Chief Justice removed. He should cite a breach.
They said there were 3 petitions. The committee presented the first report, and then the government took a decision, which they think that they should have waited for all the 3 petitions to be reviewed before a final decision is taken.
Chief, if we are in court and we are charged for 4 counts and you are cleared for 3 and you lose 1, and the one that you lose, you are supposed to go for a prison sentence. The court will not say that because you won the 3, the 1 you must go away. They will jail you because of the 1. It's the same thing. 3 petitions and 1 indicts you, and you want us to wait. That is the thinking of the minority leader.
For the sake of transparency, Alhaji.
For the sake of what?
Transparency.
We have been transparent. We have been transparent. The report is clear that she must be removed, and she has been removed by the president in accordance with laid down processes of our Constitution.
Is anybody going next?
Look, wait, let me end up on this one. The president took an oath and said he was going to defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, and that's what the Constitution says. Do you want him to throw that away? Do you expect the president to disrespect the Constitution that he swore to uphold and defend and protect? Is that the expectation of the minority leader? I'm afraid what he is saying rather might be something that all Ghanaians must mourn.
Alhaji, is there any national officer going out again? Do you know of any?
National officer going? I don't expect anything.
The CJ has been removed. Any other head of any government institution?
I don't expect anything. But when it happens, we'll go through the lay-down processes.
You're still watching Channel 1 TV. If you're listening via radio, this is City 97.3 FM. If you're watching us on the social media, you may be watching us via Twitter, via YouTube, or via Facebook at City 97.3 FM or Channel 1 TV. You're welcome to our final special coverage of the AKWATIA by-election. Very, very key, critical constituency there, seeking to elect a new member of parliament following the death of their member of parliament some months ago. Polls have officially ended. Sorting has started. Who is likely to have that seat? Welcome again. We'll be right back.
When we went there, within the 10 polling stations within Chapter, the numbers were not encouraging after 2 p.m. But when we also went to Kisi, which is also less than 10 minutes drive away from the NDC candidate, hometown, the numbers were not encouraging. When some of the polling stations that were there were expecting 500 people to come to vote. That is Kuti primary school. And after the time that we were there, we had less than 100 voters around there. And the number of places that we had been there around 12 p.m. have not even recorded even up to 100 voters. Some of the polling stations around there, Peru polling stations, some of them were expecting 400 voters, 419 around those figures there. And the numbers were not even up to have that there. But let's say we know how the Ghanaian behavior is, the kind of our lackadaisical attitude when things are ongoing and tend to delay a bit. Then we see last minute we see people rushing to vote. I tend to suspect, I want to believe that that's the kind of attitude that the people are trying to put up. But the security-wise also, some of them believe that with the increased number of police presence within the constituency was also intimidated. The IGP and the police or the election task force deploying 5,500 police officers into the constituency was somehow intimidating for them, according to some of them. But some also believe that it was a step in the right direction, considering what happened in Ablekuma and also various by-elections that have happened coming into AKWATIA and in the high stakes NPP trying to gain ground after losing the presidential election in 2024 and losing massive after losing massive numbers in terms of seats in the parliamentary. They want to reclaim their AKWATIA seat, especially when they were having it in 2024. So they believe that the security-wise was somehow a bit scary for them, and they needed to stay home to observe how things will be unfolding as the day goes by. But so far, largely, everything has been fine within the community, within the polling station. We have within the polling stations, we didn't see anyone, any police officer with guns or any rebel as it was being promised by the IGP that everything was going to be fine. Also, polling ended where you see the police coming in dressed in the Robocop style, Robocop style armor dressing, that is with their helmet and their shield, everything coming in. So everything has been peaceful. And the turnout, I believe, it is normal when it comes to by-elections. Huge turnout. Turnout. If you compare 2016, our voter turnout has been reducing. If you compare to 2020, 2016 to 2020 to 2024, our voter turnout has been reducing. So with the by-election also coming in and what happened in Ablekuma and subsequent commentaries on radio stations and TV stations, I believe that any number that we recorded will be fine. But we are going to have a very like that. Nothing has happened so far.
And Collins will be with you throughout, right from the counting till the final declaration of results, because we want to ensure our audience get a feel of what exactly is happening in AKWATIA. It's finally the time for us to find out how residents feel about both the governing NDC and the opposition NPP, and who exactly they feel is right for the job. Earlier, we received concerns about construction works ongoing and how that could possibly influence votes. You're on the ground. We know we have heavy security presence, but has there been any sort of vote buying incident that you spotted?
For me, the team of James and Kuti, we didn't see any attempt of vote buying, but we heard reports within the Takwase community, especially at Kuti. The name of that particular polling station is Long Grounds. When we were there, we were engaged with Mustafa Bandi, the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, who came in with Joseph Yamin, one of the executives of the NDC. So they came in with their executives and their security. And earlier on, as you mentioned, we saw construction works ongoing with regards to roads. Yes, we actually did that particularly. What we actually did that inspect. When we went to see, we observed that 3 major roads were under construction. And according to our engagement with the community folks, construction actually started more than a week. Some of them were escalated 5 days before the poll, 5 days before the by-election. That's when they started with the reshaping of the road. Some of them believe that it is going to be an asphalt. And also some of them believe that aging, if it's an attempt to create their vote to the NDC side, it is fine. Because some of them, they don't recall. This is coming from the youth that we engage and some of the other riders that I can assume their age range being between 20 to 28. Telling me that since they were born, they've not seen any grader or any roller on their roads, reshaping the roads within the chapters. We've also had reports that when teaching the situation is not different, machines are on their roads that are reshaping them. And if you move to when we come to chapters, no different as you reported. And with regard to the vote buying, at the funeral grounds in Kusi, after we engaged Mustafa Bandi, we had people, residents, that they were ready to go and cast their votes. Having a heated exchange that we have visuals on, that on our various social media platforms, people, our followers can get the visuals to watch them. People accusing some political party officials with the NDC that they have bribed or they have attempted. Some people have received some amount of money from both the NPP and the NDC camp, and the amount was 200 to the sharing among them. Once again, my team and myself, we didn't see that. We only witnessed the heated exchange that ensued between them and one of the political party's officials. Mustafa Bandi came in, he and Joseph Yami and their security and the police presence moved in to ensure that order was restored. So we spoke with the NPP official that most of the people were pointing fingers at, that they saw him or they saw and also heard paying 200 cedis to some of the people, the voters, to come and vote for the NPP candidate. He denied vehemently nothing of that sort has happened. He has never done that and he don't intend to do anything of that sort. He accused the NDC that it was a tactic, all these things, all these accusations leveled against him and his party were tactics that the NDC has deployed in a way that they just want to create confusion, then they will pass behind to do whatever that they want to do. But he engaged with Mustafa Bandi and he said, no, they don't intend to do anything like that. As a matter of fact, they believe that they are going to win hands down. They have done everything possible to put in the measures that they deserve to win this particular AKWATIA seat. That is according to Mustafa Bandi. And also, with regards to the road construction, he responded to some of the allegations that were being made.
Okay.
And his response was that if the roads were deplorable and former President Akufo-Addo did not do anything about it.
And Collins will be with you all through, right till the declaration of the final results, because that's key for us. But let me take you now to my other colleague on the ground as well, Samuel Kojo Brace. Sorting officially underway in that polling station where you are. Tell me more. On your screens, there are official visuals from AKWATIA. Currently, voting has ended, sorting underway in some polling stations. Counting officially has begun, and we'll be finding out who exactly the constituents have decided to steer the affairs of AKWATIA, and that will be coming up in a matter of minutes. So far, heavy security presence on the ground. We can see the police there, residents abiding by the rules set by the police. And in the studio with me, we will be exploring this further. Join me now is Asa Santi, he's a political analyst, just to look at some of the key things we're seeing play out at AKWATIA and why this seat exactly is so important for both the NDC and the NPP. Why are they so enthused about it? Some argue that the NDC already has supermajority in parliament, especially taking into consideration that the NPP have signaled they would not be running for Tamale Central, meaning you still have your numbers. So why are you so enthused about this seat? What exactly is in AKWATIA that you want? And then the NPP is also seeking to secure that seat because the NPP won that seat. But historically, AKWATIA, we know, has always been a swing seat. Both the NDC and the NPP have equal chances to actually win that seat. And so for them, it's about protecting their ballot, especially because of what happened at AKWATIA, Ablikma here in the Greater Accra region. The NPP, they were leading at the time, but after that result ended on that fateful day, despite the chaos, they lost the seat. And so really a lot of things playing out at AKWATIA. Doc, I'll come to you just to get your initial thoughts about how today has panned out. Peaceful at some polling stations, your general assessment?
It has been peaceful, except that ugly spectacle that we saw.
Indeed.
Which I think is very unfortunate. But all in all, I can say that it went on smoothly. I'm praying that the last moment of it will also see a peaceful post-election process. And then we know we have come to an end of this program. That said, I have to make the statement that I commend the police for the professional work, even though they are not done yet. But you can see that they were on top of their game. And that also fortifies me into saying that if we take our hands off the police, they will do a professional work. But more often than not, that has not been the case because political actors have, some interest beyond the interest of the state. So for that reason, they always work in a certain way that tie the hands of the police and they become ineffective. But I know that professionals as they are, if we allow them to work. So it is my hope and prayer that everything will go on well. And then we have to learn something from this, that we should not go for by-election or any election for that matter, where it looks as if that the world is coming to an end. It shouldn't be.
But we saw a lot of strict measures put in place by the police, even as at last night. They were going around the community, making sure everything was on point before today. Should this be the standard moving forward?
That has been the standard. It's not new. Peace is an important ingredient.
I'm referring to the police presence, how heavy it is at AKWATIA. Should this be the standard in every polling station moving forward? Why? Why shouldn't it be? Because it appears this is yielding results. We're seeing the thugs flee from the scene. Should we adopt this strategy moving forward?
Yes, I'm saying that should not be the case, because otherwise we are saying that if we are going for general election, if one constituency we can marshal forces like this, then you are talking about what? 276, you need Ghana army in addition to the police. Is that what we need? No.
But we have the men, don't we?
No, but if election, which is supposed to be a very simple exercise, we have to deploy all our military and police, then virtually we are in a state of state collapse. The state has collapsed. But the state has not collapsed.
But haven't we learned from history that
we are not ready to learn?
Holding peaceful elections must come at a cost.
But
we saw the same play out at Ablikma North.
Yes, that we create the scene. If we decide that we can play it safe, we will end up being 10 up to 20 policemen gathering a place for a by-election. Or even 10 for the sake of it. Right? Then we are good to go. You see, I am worried because, you see, anytime we are talking about free and fair elections, people forget about one thing. There are indices for measuring that. And one of it is world peace. Right? You need that. And people think that, going to register, voter education, constituency demarcation, and the rest of them, that is true. But peace is a critical index of free and fair election, without which we will not have any election. So it should be part and parcel of our socialization that we inculcate into people from the word go. That look, election is not do or die affair. It's a contest of ideas and the work you have done, your records. Show me your records and demonstrate to me that you have superior knowledge over the problems that we have and you want to share with me. If it resonates with me, I'll vote for you. If not, I'll vote against you. A very simple matter. And then when you go for election, it should be violent free, because any irregularity undermines the free nature. It becomes something else, not free and fair.
But without this extent of security presence in moving forward in subsequent elections, do you think we would actually achieve that free and fair, peaceful process? Especially because although the political parties will not admit on camera, we know internally they have security apparatus that work with the parties, some of whom they use to instigate some of these violent scenes we see during elections. If we're seeing it play out in AKWATIA, that heavy security presence is the way to go, why shouldn't we adopt that strategy moving forward?
Is it sustainable? Can the state afford to pay? You can't just put security there without cost. The cost of what? Building, potable water. The cost of fixing a road. If we go on that trajectory, at the end of the day, resources that we could channel into what? Wiping away students or pupils who study under 3. We'll be marshalling those forces for keeping election security. What point is that? It's pointless. All that I'm saying that everybody, it is our committed or it's a call on us to make sure that we have what? Free and fair election, devoid of things like this, so that we know that we are growing a democracy. It's not that we've held a successful election and all that. No. The real issues are what we are witnessing. So without the police, can we have free and fair? No. So it tells you that there is a problem. And that problem is that the political actors, I will forever blame them unless they change their modus operandi. They are the ones who cause this. The cocoa seller, the watcher seller, the kinky seller, is this the one who instigate people? No. But the political actors, they are the ones who do it. But we glorify them. Anytime they do, the party has won, hooray, we go back to sleep. The next time, they threaten everybody, and then we sit on tenterhooks, and once the elections are over, we go to sleep. The problem is escalated to another level in the next election, and we sit on thrones. That cycle must be broken, and the time is now.
How do we break it, really?
Yes, we see those who engage in this, throw them out by voting against them. And that is why other political parties must show their presence in such places, so that when we see that the two are violent, we can give our vote to the third party.
And that's one of the greatest concerns individuals have raised, that we're running largely a two-party system in this country. It's either you're going for the NDC or the NPP. The other political parties don't seem to be pulling their weights, are they?
I am arguing from the backdrop that for parliamentary, people can afford to give it to what? A third force. But for presidential, remember, the basis of this problem is the way this country was built. It was built along what? A two-party system. the British colonial authority in leaving this country bequeathed to us this two-party system. If you go to Britain, there's two-party. Two-party system means that there are a number of parties in the state, more than one, but only two have what it takes to win power and form government. If you go to Britain, Labour and Conservative, they win elections all the time. It doesn't mean that there are not other parties. Other parties exist, all right? Yes, in Britain, but only these two always win elections. In Ghana, is CPP, which has, found expression in NDC. And if you look at NDC, the backbone of NDC are people who migrated from CPP, and they found expression here. So it's a CPP Dankobuzia tradition with this. Any other group becomes a dwarf party. And the two-party system, other parties, if they don't take care, they don't win power. If you go through the two-party system history in the world, all right, I think in one of the Scandinavian countries, the party ruled for 52 years. Can you imagine? Even in Africa, I can give you an example. You have parties which have ruled for so long a time, two-party systems. And those are the things, if you want to break this, then there must be a conscious effort. One, to make sure that you come out with a law that takes us to what? Proportional representation.
Stay with me, Doc. I'll come back to you to make that point. But let's take you back to AKWATIA. Results are already trickling in, and we have some provisional results. But let me take you there live. My colleague Blessed Sugar already engaged in some constituents in the constituency following the declaration of some results in some polling stations.
Thank you very much for that.
Everything cool. We are about to say about who say AKWATIA for a hard drink, Kasa and Toka, Kosuano, and Yadu Mamanasa.
My colleague Blessed Sugar there engaging some residents who are optimistic about how the process will turn out. So far, provisional results are beginning to trickle in, and we'll just run you through some of them. From Bodia Lorry Station, Solomon Asumedu has won 127 votes, while Bernard Bediakubedu for the NDC has won 282. LPG 3, rejected ballots 3. So from provisional results from Bodia Lorry Station, it appears that the NDC is leading in that polling station with 282 votes, while the NPP follows closely with 127 votes. More results trickling in at AKWATIA Lorry Station. NPP 83 votes, while the NDC 333 votes. LPG 0, rejected ballot 1, and that is in Station A. Also, when it comes to other polling station at Jonase Presby, the polling station there, the NPP, provisional results 206, NDC 81, and also we have other results trickling in as well, and we're running you through the numbers as soon as we have them, just giving us a sense of what we should expect in the next few minutes when we have final results from all the polling stations. And trust us, we're your election headquarters. We'll be here to have the declaration of the winner of that seat. But I still have Doc with me in the studio, and you can just see on your screens now counting underway at some polling station. Doc, you're just making a point before I had to come in at that point to update our viewers on some of the key things happening at AKWATIA.
Yes, so as I was saying, if you look at the two-party system, they tend to dwarf any other party. So you don't see the effect of those parties. And if we want to deal with this problem, then we need a law that can bring to bear a change in the situation. Proportional representation is one of the solutions where it can change the dynamics. You can also go in for a multi-party system. Yeah. People use the concept loosely in Ghana, that, oh, this is a multi-party democracy. From a loose point of view, we will accept that you are talking about more than one political party. But in political science, when we say a multi-party, we are talking about all the parties that exist in that state. All of them have equal chance of winning election. But as to whether they can form a government on their own, it's always not impossible. They normally end up as a coalition. So that is it. So you go to places like Israel, Germany, Jordan, and the rest. You see coalition governments are formed. It's as a result of some of these things. And that one, you are not likely to have a landslide victory. No. Because of the system. That will allow other parties to exist. But if you should have a two-party, the two-party will win forever. You can even have an independent candidate, presidential candidate. He will not be able to survive. And
we're seeing it play out even with this by-election, where the LPG is recording votes as low as 1 and 2 in some polling stations. Some of the provisional results still trickling in. New Wenchi Presbyterian School A, NPP 314 votes, NDC 107, LPG 0, rejected ballots 7. Some provisional results just trickling in, and we'll be bringing you that update as soon as we have them. Our correspondents are on the ground. Officially, counting is underway at AKWATIA. Now, my colleague Samuel Kojo-Brace is on the ground, just join us live from one of the polling stations there at AKWATIA. Kojo, what can you report?
Well, Fosi, this is Bodua Lorry Station, and the counting just ended. The NPP, as I spoke to earlier, they were telling me they are looking at maximizing their vote here. But, when we're expecting some 612 people to cast their vote here, at the end of the day, the NPP recorded some 111 votes, as against the NDC's 323 for the NDC, with 2 rejected ballots. The LPG had 0. Here. So at the Bodua Lorry Station polling station, the NPP had 111. The NDC, on the other hand, had 323. LPG had 0, and we had 2 rejected ballots. So that is what we just recorded here. The counting is underway in several police stations, and so we'll be getting the results and bringing them to you on Joy News. Frosty.
Indeed, Kojo-Brace, we're on the ground, and we'll be bringing you all the live visuals that we have, just painting a picture for you as to what exactly is happening at AKWATIA. Some provisional results we have at Apinamam LAGHS polling station. NDC 144 votes, the NPP 182 votes, LPG 2 votes, rejected ballots 6. Doc, it appears that we would be on the grounds throughout, just to give our audience a sense of what is happening. So pardon me if I have to come in every now and then to take them live on the grounds. But then, why is AKWATIA really such a big deal?
AKWATIA is a big deal for this election for 2 reasons. One, it is a test of the resilience of the NPP. And it is also a test of the declining popularity or goodwill, if you like, of the NDC.
Okay.
Yes. While some people are looking at it that, look, are NPP resilient to weather the storm? You are dealing with a party which has already, 184 minus Tamale Central, 183. And they are still soldiering on. Can you withstand that? Do you have that capacity to resist that? And then you flip the coin. The NDC is also here in there. People are looking at it. In spite of all your goodwill, do you still have that on the ground? This is a real test because this is a swing constituency. It can swing in favor of any party there, the two dominant parties. So do you still have the goodwill 7 months into office? So there are a lot at stake here. Aside this, remember that NDC is looking forward to getting 184. That is to test majority. And you know what to test majority can do in parliament. It can help them to amend non-entrenched provisions, form quorum, and take all the important decisions without necessarily the support of any other party. Remember that the independent candidates, right, they can work with them. But on their own, when they get 184, the independent candidates, they can decide as and when to engage them. So that is the reason why you are seeing this type of push-up from each of the actors in there. But aside the demography also speaks volume, all right, or it gives us a little inkling as to what is happening. Look at, this is an area where it's predominantly Achim people, but you have what? Groups of what? Groups coming from what? The background of Evers, about 17%. The Akans there about 66%. The Evers about 17%. The Gadangwe about 17%. And other groups about what? 11%. It gives you a sense of what is happening. And if you look at it from the backdrop that this is a place where mining is rife, it is important to know that even though mining is rife, the main large-scale mining has gone down. That is the Great Consolidated Diamond Limited, because of what? Resources and other factors, is not performing the way it ought to be. But that aside, we have small-scale mining and galamsey activities going on. They say that they also boast of a very proud hospital like the St. Dominic Catholic Hospital, one of the best secondary schools there, St. Rosie's and all that. So it's a place that attracts a lot of people, and then that has also changed the dynamics. So when you have all these things, in addition to what we call enclaves within stronghold, Eastern region obviously is a dominant area for the NPP. But we have enclaves within Eastern region that they always show what? Swing, results. And this is one of the enclaves. And enclaves results always create a certain type of picture, which is playing out here. Go to Asamase, in the belly of Asante, and then you have Asamase voting the way they do for the NDC. And this one also a swing. So these dynamics, we will continue to see that. But all in all, one thing is clear, that people are voting mostly for what? The economy. In the area of what? Economy, which has found expression in what? Development. If you look at the Info Analytics report, they are saying that the top consideration of voters there for this by-election is what? Development.
Yes, because AKWATIA really mostly thrives with mining and what have not. And for decades now, that industry has stifled because of some of the factories there are not operational. And they're looking forward to an administration that can turn their fortunes around. But I'm wondering how this election would give them that change they're looking for. Because historically, from as far back as 1992 to 1996, the NDC held the seat. 2000, 2008, the NPP held the seat. In 2012, the NDC held it. 2016, the NPP. 2020, the NDC. And then finally, 2024, the NPP took the seat. So we've had both political parties given equal opportunity to actually rule this constituency. And unfortunately, the jobs they're looking for, the community development they're looking for, still hasn't arrived. So what's different this time? What's their guarantee that either the NDC or the NPP can give them that promise that they are always looking forward to?
They have no option to turn to apart from these two. That is why we are seeing what we are seeing. Otherwise, the best to reject the two, because what we are looking for, we don't have it. But the alternative is non-existent.
That's the problem.
All right, and that is why you want to also develop other individuals or other groups so that in event of this nature, they can step into the shoes of these dominant parties who have never given them any development. Because if development is what they are looking for, and up to date they don't have it, and on what basis are they campaigning? And if you listen to their campaign, NDC campaign, oh, vote for us, we are in government and we will provide what? The development. And I ask myself, everybody, if you read the constitution, I think Article 35 areas there, it gives you a sense of what this state is looking forward to. That every portion of this country needs a fair share of the country's development. And so infrastructure development we want to see at everywhere. And they are saying that, oh, we are in government, so vote for us and we'll be able to give you development. Are you saying that those in opposition can't develop an area? What is the essence of the common fund given to them?
And it's shocking that the NPP actually won that seat. And Escombe did an amazing job with that seat because the NDC overwhelming victory with the presidential elections. And so you would expect, because that seat was initially an NDC seat, Henry Boakye held the seat for the party, but they were able to turn the fortunes around and take over that seat. I'm sure that is why the NPP is bent on ensuring they maintain the seat, even though it may not affect their numbers in parliament.
Oh, you need to, a place which is swing, you have every reason to compete and compete well, so that you demonstrate your mettle to the people that you are still what? In business. Otherwise, you'll be forgotten in no time. And for swing, one disadvantage is that if you don't show your presence and you lose out, the other party takes advantage forever. And you going back becomes what? A problem. So political parties are very careful of this. And then they put in their all to make sure that they get the results that they want. It's a real toss-up. It's a real toss-up. And so toss-ups, you can understand these dynamics. But it goes also without saying that, look, all these things we do, but every time we go to AKWATIA, it's always, we are sitting on tenterhooks. That must cease. Why violence? Violence. Why? And I will always urge the people of AKWATIA to resist that type of temptation, because political parties should not use that land for their theater, where they foment trouble, they create problems for them, and they run away to their various constituency and leave them what? Suffering. No. We must move away from that. Having a high election security, we should go down on this, and that is when we are able to internalize the information that we need free and fair election that is devoid of what? Violence.
Indeed.
Irregularity.
Doc, stay with me. I'll come back to you to just make that point. Let me take you back now to AKWATIA. My colleague Blexus Suga is on the grounds engaging some residents. Results are trickling in. Blessed, what can you report?
Ballot box ni ache mienu. Suna no. Tonto wa. NDC afa one. NPP afa one. Okwa AKWATIA Roman. Yanya 200. Omo nya 60. Suna no. Adana NCSA. Your mama 24-hour economy no. Anya juma. Ya pemputu o. AKWATIA owa ikade betu AKWATIA. Ene kade fani tu mapefra. Yani AKWATIA ye. Mu ti AKWATIA no. Na mu fi se ye kura. Yani namdamo so. Eti ye besra. Ase trofo. AKWATIA mai. Yenina ye bo se. Ye di asejo mama ani onyam yadamase.
Yafrabe Zachary Abdul Moment, popular known as Otompo Yoyo, Assembly member from Kwantanai Ahimblonum electoral area.
How do you feel about it?
Oh, as for the distant election, there is very smoothly. How people even this year, this place, when we have been voting like this, you do something. People have been even fighting here because of the police people. As for that fighting has been. So everything is cool here. This voting here, let's thank Almighty that things have been moving smoothly for the AKWATIA people.
What do you want the new MP to do?
The new MP there, we trust him because even he has not done the MP before, but he has been helping the people. So he's going to make and do something for the AKWATIA people here.
Anything you want to share with the people of AKWATIA?
Oh, nothing.
Just happy?
Yes, we are just happy.
Your friend says the 24-hour economy will start from here.
Yeah, the 24-hour economy is because of this voting here. I'm sure we have been going to get the 24-hour economy here. Thank you very much for that.
Oh, everything cool. Oh, maybe I come on. About to say about who say AKWATIA for a hard drink, Kasa and Tokantopa, Kosuano, I mean, the Mamanasa. Ebajina wa tu sanity yani mimi se mimi bibinya nisi sanity to me the mimi no bia party bia the beba obebo AKWATIA youth AKWATIA youth na ye ba no mpelefon no mko ba ye nkola na ye ba ne de se nyo boafo a obetma boaye na AKWATIA etumpo so wo hwe nkronkron mama mebeba wo hwe mama mebeba ane no mo ye wo ha wo se AKWATIA din a ba be wu akokro ni mu a hwe ni AKWATIA so wo sino ekwan na economy is correct, but AKWATIA show nice ya pe obi obi tuma ye o ma ni ye ma ya no na show ti AKWATIA ya ngwe se NDC NPP o mo je sa mo ho but me ni ye do be ni bia obi tuma aboa AKWATIA ma ya no ya na ye hwehwe but they make us
apparently excited about the outcome, but there's more jubilation happening here at the AKWATIA Lorry Station, where at all the 2 polling centers we've had the NDC candidate emerge victorious. So let's try and get some more reactions for you. Because you see people obviously happy about the outcome of the elections, and I'm sure that many more of them are talking. Let's listen to them.
Sabe, ya pesa MPP for ya buwa to fi ya to fi amamu ha. Yes. Ya pesa 2028 ebe come sit the back our parliament. Yes. Sabe ebe ya. C4P ba akwani dem. Yeah. Who is C4P? 2028 honorable Serikatia is coming. 2028 Serikatia is coming. I say you put on the quality muye and your bam o so to na mu yo no ko ore na ya sha se no nti e biom nti ya o ya ha ya yo ha no ebi mi fi jo mo what again kaswa ebi fi awutu senya is ebi fi kumase ye do ga na ni aba ha no o ja ka do na ye na ya ba se ba de aboa nti ebi fi jo mo no elibo ana maba hapa sini ana maba o musu bi kaswa nti ya pesit no ni na ya pesa ka for 2028
me patro mi fra wutu senya east ya de ya basa ya de ya tuma ba be bo lawyer ni ntuma mu na ya adwumaden ya ma lawyer fa ne ntuma pesra ya pese empuntuo ba AKWATIA ya ma obi fa ne sempo ne ne kapre e ma mese ya AKWATIA man so mu pempuntuo AKWATIA man so mu pese omo manu nya adwuma ye enti omo pese omo manu nya adwuma ye enti na omo to aba ma lawyer AKWATIA man se say omo pese lawyer ba no ba ma omo adwuma ye omo pese oman ne be say eno nti na ye fura wutu say na is ye de antuma abebo ye NDC fo anu awo akwatia say ye no omo ba ye adwuma den ama akwatia ma fa ne ntuma pefra eno nti ne ye ba se ye ba beboa ama lawyer fa ne ntuma pefra nyankopon sunti ama ye bra ne kwa akwatia mai atire say omo pe puntuo omo pese e mai ne sesentu omo tire so omo tu aba that dey my lawyer enu amu na ya ji ani ne ya se ji ani because kunimudi na ba do mama bossa na o se Ghana fo no oba ba ye adwuma eni timu hu ya eni ji ani nyina ye enkunim aya ba beboa ama kwati ama ya I said long way to go, but I start to say, but the revolution has come to say, revolution. I said long way to go, but I start to say.
Well, so let's hear from more people. You can see that there's jubilation now in some parts of AKWATIA. Obviously, they're happy at the outcome of the election. Blessed Sugan reporting for Joy News, AKWATIA.
Giving our audience live scenes from AKWATIA, my colleague Blessed Suga engaging some excited residents, pleased with the results after their polling station results were announced. Some provisional results trickling in. Let me run you through some of them. At New Wenchi Palace A, Solomon Ismedu for the NPP is leading with 192 votes. We have Bernard Mediaku, 76, LPG 0, rejected ballot 4, total valid votes 271. Also from New Wenchi Palace B, the NPP leading again, 194, the NDC 74, I beg your pardon, LPG 0, rejected ballot 0. And then from Amankrado, New Wenchi, NPP 187 votes, the NDC 61 votes, rejected ballots 398. That's quite a number, 398 rejected ballots. Provisional results trickling in from AKWATIA and from Amankrado New Wenchi B polling station. NPP 174, NDC 69, LPG 3 and rejected ballot 1. My colleague Isaac Kofi joins me in the studio, lead data analyst here at Joy News. Kofi, the numbers, we're beginning to crunch them here, and I know that you received some provisional results already. What are the figures looking like?
In fact, what we have is provisional, and out of that 120 polling stations that we are tracking so far, we have 20 out of 120, so we have 100 polling stations more to go. Out of 20 polling stations that we have, the NPP candidate is currently leading with 52.65%. Total vote for the NPP candidate Solomon Asumedu is 3,241. 3,241 with 52.65%. The NDC's candidate is also coming second currently. Provisional data that we have, 20 out of 120. He has 2,910 votes. 2,910 votes with a share of 47.27%. 47.27%. And LPG's Patrick Owusu currently has 5 votes with a share of 0.08%. So for say Provisional data that we have shows that the NPP's candidate is currently leading. If we look at the 20 that we've been able to track so far out of the 120, leading with 52.65%. But still early days yet, and in fact, certain interesting polling stations have come in, like the New Wenchi and all of that, but we are waiting for the polling station with the highest number of registered voters. That's the New Wenchi Deba Ground, which has 704. But per what we are seeing, it looks like voter turnout is likely to be more than what we saw in Ablekuma North, where people are currently, they really turn out to come and to go out there and vote. But the provisional data we have is that the NPP candidate is currently leading with 52.65%. We've done 20 out of 120, so 100 polling stations more to go. Tony and Co are crunching the numbers at the background, and we will bring you every detail as and when we have a provisional data coming in shows that the NPP candidate is currently leading with 52.65%, NDC 47.27%. Early days yet, but that's what we have so far for C.
Thank you, Kofi. Now, you just heard it here first. Out of the 20 polling station results, provisional results we have received, the NPP is leading this election. But we have 100 more to go. Let me take you live to the grounds. My colleague Collins joins us live from his polling station. Collins, what can you report? Collins, I can't seem to hear you. You'd have to position rightly and just give us updates from the polling station, where you are, what exactly is happening, results in already?
So the counting and everything is done here at the Deba Ground in AKWATIA, where the parliamentary candidate for the NDC hails from. And this is the results, the official result that we've received, confirmed from the EC. Solomon Asumado of the NPP had 107 votes. And also the NDC candidate Bernard Bediako had 293 votes. And also the LTG candidate also had one, with 4 being rejected votes. So this is what has happened here. I don't know if you can see from my screen how excited the people in the community are, and everybody seems to be jubilating, because that's what largely they were expecting within this particular community, that the candidate for the NDC, everybody was to win, and that's what has happened. Another result that came from our constituents from the Chakra State North, where the NPP candidate had 90 and that of the NDC had 230. So that polling station is part of the 10 polling stations within the Chakra State community. So right that we are done with the Deba Ground at Chakra State, we are moving to the other polling stations ahead of us, and also head towards the community day senior high school across Chakra State, where the NDC candidate Bernard Bediako also voted. Firstly, this is what has been happening over here.
Thank you, Collins, and clearly